So today we're going to be having a look at a board from Biostar. Okay, so Biostar boards they're never the most premium motherboard on the market, but what they do represent is an incredibly good value, a stable overall board, and really an incredibly good value because you'll get features on a Biostar board within the same price point that you just wouldn't see from pretty much any other brand. So this particular board is a P55 board. It's their T5XE motherboard. It does support Crossfire, just like most P55 boards, but the difference is that most of the other boards in this price point only have one PCIe slot, so they obviously can't support Crossfire. So let's have a quick look here at what the overall features are, the biotechs. So it's got green power efficiency, 100% extreme durable capacitors, unique PWM design, so it's called TweakTech, easy BIOS update by USB flash disk. That's a huge one. This is so convenient. It makes a huge difference. Overclocking navigator engine, rapid switch to shut down or restart the system. You just have, so I'm guessing that's onboard switches. I guess we'll find out. You know what? Why don't we just open this thing up? Oh, wait, no, this is pretty good. Okay, BIOS Relife, resume crushed BIOS by USB flash disk. That is terrific. Okay, so let's get this opened up. It supports Core i7 as well as Core i5 and Core i3 processors like all P55 boards. So let's see what we've got for accessories. First of all, they've included 2 SATA cables, 1 Molex to SATA power adapter, and then 1 IDE cable, and they've included it with this nifty little blue Velcro Biostar cable tie. That's kind of nice. So now you can go ahead and take that off your cables and then use that to help manage the cables inside your case. That's terrific. Okay, that's well thought out. Okay, then we've got an IO plate. So you can see that you've actually got to pop these out yourself, which is, I haven't seen that one in a little while. Okay, so then you've got a user's manual, which is, wow, that's some pretty good languages we got there. Cameraman's iPhone's going off. I think he's going to try and escape and go find out what it is. Wow, this has like Arabic languages. Oh no, I even got it right. This is Arabic. They have like everything in here. Polish. That's awesome. Portuguese, Spanish, French, German. Oh, and then like it's like 90% English. Okay, that works for me. Let's have a look at the board itself. So let's get this out right away here. Got one little piece of tape holding it on. All right, so the actual board itself, you can see that even though the box might not be the nicest, they haven't skimped on the overall quality and look of the board. So you've got large heat sinks in the places where they belong. So on the voltage regulators, which looks like a 4-phase setup. Okay, and then they've also got a nice, decent-looking heatsink on the chipset itself. I mean, this is, it's a P55 chipset. It doesn't use up a whole lot of power, so you don't need to worry too much about that. So let's start with the CPU socket. Like all P55 boards, it's got an LGA 1156 socket, so that has support for Core i7, Core i5, and Core i3, but you should note that for Core i5 and Core i3 processors, you won't have support for their onboard graphics with a P55 board. Now, like all P55 boards, we've got support for dual-channel DDR3, 4 slots, and then you've got your power connectors in their ideal locations with the 24-pin on the right-hand edge and the 4-pin up at the top left. Now this is something that I'm really happy to see on a value board because that's a lot of the time the little inconveniences that you start to run into on value boards is they won't have the power connectors in the right places or they won't have things well thought out in terms of the ports. Now let's keep moving down the board here. So we've got one IDE port here and then we've got a legacy floppy port way down here. All right, so in terms of SATA 2, we have 6 SATA 2, and these are running off of the chipset. Now, actually, and there you go. I just said sometimes the port layouts are not ideal on a value board, and that's what we're seeing here, because if you actually install 2 dual slot graphics cards in this motherboard, you will block the top 3 SATA ports unless you're using right angle connectors on them. So then you've got your color-coded front panel connectors, a power switch, and a reset onboard switch. I really like to see that again on a value board like this. 2 front USB headers, and then expansion slots. Why don't I just hold the camera so the cameraman can go answer his phone? Just keep that. Oh, okay, he just turned it off. Okay, so then we've got a PCI Express 16X, 2 PCI Express 1X, another PCI Express 16X. Like all P55 boards, these will run at 8X, 8X in Crossfire. Then we have 2 PCI slots, and let's just move around to the back and see what we've got for I/O. So it includes 2 PS2 ports, one for the mouse and one for the keyboard, 6 USB 2.0 ports, 1 gigabit LAN, and 7.1 audio. So no frills, no gimmicks, just a like many Biostar, well actually I should say almost all Biostar T-Series boards in the past have been great performers for the dollar. They don't have the gimmicky features, but what they do have is good value, the features you really need to get the performance out of your system, and I just thought, we'd take a quick look at this thing. And on the back there's a backplate. Thanks for checking it out.